Hey guys, BreakWizard59 here, and welcome back to a look at my newest LEGO custom build. And this is the representation of the duel between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon Jinn. And this was of course from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and this was near the end of the film. So basically in the recent past I have been doing more of these smaller vignette style builds where they're actually specific shots of a scene, so a mock of a specific part of a scene rather than recreating the entire scene. And that's actually a pretty nice way because of the fact that not only can I add a ton of detail because I'll have all the parts, but also I can, just experiment with different techniques that I wouldn't have been able to if the build was at a much larger scale because of the fact that I have a limited amount of parts. So this is actually representing the scene where, if you remember in the film, these doors here, they open up and they end up, and Darth Maul appears and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon say they'll handle it themselves, and the rest of like Padme and everyone goes the other way. And so that's basically what this scene is. Now the only inaccuracy is the fact that the doors are closed. But the reason why I had the doors closed rather than open, because I really do like how the doors look, so I wanted to add those into this build. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and take a look at this build. Alright, so here we have a look at the build all together. Now, basically, a couple of techniques I used. For one, the entire floor is made of using the snot technique, or studs not on top. That's where you actually take the bricks and lay them on their side. And that just gives a really nice smooth feel to it. You can see, of course, we have Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon battling Darth Maul there. And then in the very back, we have a section of the Naboo hangar. And there's various different details, movie-accurate details. Like the piping on the side, we got the main doors, these sections next to the doors, and then a couple of small containers here, as this is of course a hangar bay. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look. So I'll actually go ahead and take a look first off at the flooring here. And once again, it is a snot technique, and basically it's a little tough to see exactly how the detailing is done on the flooring, but it's pretty much a light gray color, and then you have spots of dark gray in the scene. So that's kind of what I did. So I added these kind of like square structures, and they are pretty accurate. And then of course, actually, if you see the scene, there are actually these like white lights. I ended up using just trans clear studs, and I think that looks really good. Of course, I did use a tiling here in the very front. That's to give it a really nice smooth finish. I didn't have enough tiles to put on the top here. Like tan tiles, but if I get a chance in the future, I will go ahead and do that. But here we'll actually just quickly get a closer look at Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and Darth Maul. So there's Qui-Gon, there's Darth Maul. You can see it with his double-bladed lightsaber, and you can see he's, as if now, he's kind of like overpowering Qui-Gon Jinn a bit, while Obi-Wan is kind of at the offensive here, trying to take out Darth Maul. So basically the way I ended up adding those figures in, you could see I just used these bricks with a stud on the side, seen there, and that's how I ended up putting on the minifigures. So let's go ahead and just remove the minifigures. You can kind of get a better look at the pattern here. Zoom out a bit, but it looks really nice. And you could see once again all the spots of gray. And we'll go ahead and now move on to the wall, which actually I really love how this has turned out. So on the very corner, we got some piping here. I was thinking of using the Lego pipe pieces, but sadly they didn't. I only had one of them, so I could not use them. But this actually looks really good. It's actually a bit of a different design using a few different modified rods. You of course have like some slope bricks, and that's actually really accurate, and I really love just how the architecture is in Naboo, just the overall design. Here we have the main door, which I think actually turned out really nice. The door actually, I got this idea from this one Naboo hangar build. sorry I forgot the name. I'll have a link to that down in the description. That's kind of where I got the idea of making the door with these like lightsabers and with these like grill pieces. But I think it looks really good. Now, yes, the door does not open up, but I feel that's alright because for this scene, I'll be keeping the doors closed anyways. I won't really open them. But basically, the rims of the doors are made using tiling. And yes, if you look in the scene, there are like various random controls on it, on all the sides. Sadly, I didn't have a sticker that exactly, a sticker of Star Wars like controls. So when I get some in the future, I will end up putting those. And then you have a small like vent on the top. Then you have these sections here in the corners. They're not sure what they're called, but they are seen in the film. And I just used some Technic parts and then some modified bricks to make these top sections here. And I'm really actually happy with how that's turned out. Now, of course, because this is a complete review, we're going to take a look at the back, which is not pretty at all. But you're never going to be seeing the back side of this anyways. But here's kind of how it looks. You can see the door, how I kind of made it. And then also I used a kind of like piece here. These are like all bricks, which kind of like outline where the tile will need to be on the front. And then, you know, we got some just other bricks here and there. I didn't fill everything in because, again, I wanted to save bricks as much as possible. If they're not needed, I didn't put them on. And once again, you're really not going to see them on the back. And then I used just really long bricks just to connect everything such that these small pieces don't just pop off when I move it. And then here's again a look at the top here. But anyways, moving back along to the front, which is right here. But anyways, actually there is pretty much a look at the build. So this is again a bit of a nice little miniature custom vignette or mini MOC. And I'm actually really happy with how that's turned out. So here's kind of a look at the figures here. Sadly, I don't have the brand new Naboo set, the Naboo dual set. So I did end up using some of the older figures that I had. But overall, I'm actually really happy with how this has turned out. And if you haven't checked out my other custom mini vignette builds, I have one of the opening scene of this film, the negotiations scene. I have one of the opening scene of A New Hope where the stormtroopers board the TNT 4, and I have one of the duel between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader in Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. So definitely check those out. I'll have a link to those down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, a thumbs up would be great. And do not forget to subscribe down below for more. So this is BreakWizard59, and I'll see you all next time.